been hearing a lot of first-time homebuyers lately question whether or not they actually need to use the services of a real estate agent. And when people ask me this, my answer is always the same. Yes, you sure do. One comment that I've been hearing a lot lately, really more than ever, is, well, I found the house myself. Good, great, wonderful, that's awesome. Anybody with any basic internet proficiency can log on to Zillow or Realtor.com, filter a home search, and find a house that they love. That's not what real estate agents get paid to do. Now, of course, a good agent is going to be aware of houses that are on the market that fit your search criteria, and really good agents are even going to be aware of houses that you may like that are about to hit the market, but that is not the hard part of the job. I had a client recently tell me that they found a house and it's a for sale by owner, and for that reason they do not need a real estate agent to represent them. So I said, well, what are you gonna do? Knock on the person's door, offer them a dollar amount, and negotiate on their doorstep? Like, how does that work? How do you think this process is going to go? And they said, well, I just get a real estate attorney to help me prepare a contract. Yeah, that's true, but the real estate attorney isn't going to negotiate price for you. They're not going to negotiate what conveys with the house and what doesn't. They're not going to negotiate repairs, seller credits, home warranties. The list goes on and on, you get the picture. In the example I just cited, it was a for sale by owner and the sellers were not willing to pay any real estate agents. But in 99% of transactions, at least in my market, buyers don't even pay their real estate agents for their services. The seller does. A common myth surrounding real estate services is that if a buyer makes an offer without agent representation, that the seller's going to give them a better price because they don't have to pay the buyer's real estate agent. That's not true. See, the way listing agreements typically work is that the sellers will agree to a set percentage of the sales price to distribute amongst real estate agents, and if there's no agent on the buyer side, then that whole fee goes to the seller's agent who is listing that house. So in that respect, the seller is not actually saving any money by selling a house to you, the unrepresented buyer. The only difference here is that the seller is represented by a professional who has their best interests at heart versus you, a first-time home buyer who's never done this before. That's not going to work in your favor. It's just not. Home sellers, this applies to you as well. Look, you can try to sell a house yourself. You can make sure that you come home from work 3 times every day to let people in for showings. You can write up contracts yourself, negotiate yourself. You can do everything yourself. It's true. But realistically, for most people, that's the equivalent of doing an at-home colonoscopy. You go to the doctor when you need an operation, you see a lawyer when you need representation in court, so why wouldn't you go to a real estate agent when you're buying or selling a house?